Hey yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy AceoxReacts, and I'm back. I'm back with another reaction. This time I'm going to react to the Wii's Horrifying Stalker by Ghost Search. Yes, we're back with another Ghost Search video, and this time, instead of a small Martian antenna, I got devil horns. Look at me. I'm so devious. Now take off your pants and let me see your dick. Your penis. I wonder what this video is about. My guess is it's probably going to be about Calling. You know, the Wii horror game I really like. Yeah, that's the only Wii game with a stalker I know. So yeah, don't know if that's what he's gonna talk about, but that's my guess. That's my guess. But yeah, we're back, like I said, with another Ghost Search video. I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. And with my new horns, I now have the authority to condemn you to hell, to pufferfish hell. So don't make me horny. You don't like me when I'm horny. Alright, I scrolled up and I zoomed out, but before we start, like always, go into the video description, click the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video by Ghost Search, leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him, I see you. I can smell your ass crack from a mile away. Hashtag I fucking love ass hairs. Hashtag swag. Tell him that, and obviously subscribe to him. He deserves it. He makes some good videos, as we know. So, without further ado, let's just cut the yapping short and just get right into the video. Here we go. It's calling. I remember that sound. I remember it.
Hey, I know this is really random, but
Ghost Search?
when you were growing up?
No. I had a Wii. I was joking. I had a Wii. Yeah.
Wii was such an amazing little console, man. It had
I loved it.
great games, so much great shovelware, and odd little features on the Wii message board. Did you ever
That was weird.
It was pretty much used to
Actually, yeah.
and send them off to your friends by getting their little address thing. It was like a whole process. It was
it was not useful.
Everybody used it. Every now and then
I used it.
Messages from
I used it when I was in contact with my friend. I told him, write me a Wii message, and he did. And I didn't see it because I didn't log into my Wii, or rather turn on my Wii, and yeah. But yeah, games could send you stuff. That was cool. That was a cool feature. That was cool, but it was completely useless in every other regard.
Games. I remember one time I got a postcard for beating Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
This was really cute, but it was super rare, so anytime that message box pinged,
unfortunately.
it was always pretty exciting.
Yeah. But most of the time it's just, you know, information about updates and stuff. Damn! Hell yeah. It is calling. 100% confirmed. Yeah! Oh man, I haven't seen it in a long time. Damn, I'm excited.
In 2009, Hudson Soft released Calling for the Wii, a game part of the fairly small selection of horror games on the console. The game's story centers on a group of people who all access an online message board.
And honestly, the gameplay is ass. But, goddammit, the atmosphere is one of the best. That's why I love the game. Mainly for the atmosphere and, you know, walking around in creepy interiors and doing stuff. And yeah, but the gameplay is not fun. It's just, you know, a lot of backtracking and no. Some of the puzzles just make no sense. So how you come to the conclusions you need to come to figure out the solution is beyond me. Some of them are just Huh? I remember I was in the first level in the school, and suddenly you just can't progress, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And at some point I just came across some weird shoe lockers, and a cat jump scare happened, and then for some reason you could progress somewhere else. So it's not a well-designed game in that regard. No, but the atmosphere is top notch. It is chef's kiss. It is. Mwah. It's the pasta and the spaghetti and the spaghetti carbonara and the pizza margherita is good. Is good shit is what I'm trying to say. So don't buy it. Just play it on an emulator. Hashtag in Minecraft. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you you should build it in Minecraft. There we go. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But you know what I mean, right? Just give it a try. Give it a try. It's worth your time if you just go play for the atmosphere. Yeah. But don't expect a masterpiece gameplay-wise. It's not. It's far from that. Yeah.
Called the Black Page. It's rumored that this chat room allows users to speak with the dead. However, shortly after entering the room, our main
There's the red girl.
transported. They all arrive in the mnemonic abyss, a space between life and death where spirits can materialize and interact with the living. You take control of several characters as they try to piece together the mystery behind the Black Page and escape the mnemonic abyss. This game is special for the way it ties the Wii message board to the gameplay. For example, if you happen to die at the hands of a ghost, you may receive one of several unique letters on the Wii message board. Dying in chapters unlocks even more of these letters.
I never saw that. I guess I never died.
Image. You can obtain a pretty nice photo of the main cast after completing the game, which is pretty wholesome. For the most part, these letters range from being fun and campy to being just a little bit creepy and off-putting. However, the red letters are a bit different. The red letters are in a league of their own, I'd say. Unlike most letters, these ones are not received by dying in the mnemonic abyss. In fact, you can go your entire playthrough without receiving a single red letter. The only way to get a red letter...
I don't remember I ever got any, so how the hell do you get them? I mean, he's going to tell us if I just continue the video, but yeah, I never got any. I don't know why. Let's find out why.
Is during your second playthrough of the game after getting the...
okay.
You start getting...
Well, I mean, that explains it.
Encounters
I played it once.
Girl in red.
You know, one playthrough. Yeah, damn. Oh! God damn it, she's so creepy. I hate her.
In specific locations during your second playthrough, you can find this eerie spirit that doesn't attack you. Instead, the girl in red sends you a new letter after every encounter with her. After seeing her for the first time, you'll
That's cool. I did not know that.
I found you. These messages only get creepier after every subsequent encounter with her. One of these messages seems to be directed at one of the main characters of Call. This letter depicts the girl in red holding hands with a man. From the hairstyle, white shirt, and black vest, it's clear that this is supposed to resemble Makoto Hirai. This specific letter is even sealed with a lipstick kiss mark, hinting at romantic feelings towards Makoto. In fact, many of your encounters with the girl in red happen while you're controlling Makoto, but you can also find the ghost while controlling Rin Kagura, another one of the game's playable characters. Despite this, none of the letters ever appear to be addressed towards Rin or any other playable character for that matter. The girl in red even jumps out at Rin in their last encounter together. This could be an indication of jealousy. Maybe the ghost was a little upset with all the time that Makoto and Rin spend together throughout the game's events. So it seems safe to say that
makes sense.
These letters are addressed towards Makoto, except for the last two. The second to last letter reads, "I'm gonna come see you." After viewing this letter, you can find another letter inside the game on the start menu. Looking over at the letter will initiate the final encounter with the girl in red.
Alright, come on. Huh. The webcam is in the way.
After that little jump scare, you'll receive the final red letter, which reads, "I finally got to see you." This final encounter and the contents of the final letter.
Alright, okay.
The girl in red has been dying to see you. The
Yeah, she's kind of obsessed.
This whole side
Kind of obsessed with seeing you. It's weird.
Here. Like who the girl in red actually is, how she ended up in the mnemonic abyss, what her relation to Makoto is. There's still a lot to unpack here. So today I wanted to dig a little deeper to uncover the mystery behind Calling's ghost girl. So we're gonna be looking.
Alright, I'm excited. I never paid attention to the story, especially, you know, since I mentioned the gameplay, it was so dragging its feet when it came to also how it progressed, you know, in which how much time you spent with the story and everything until, you know, stuff happens. It took a long time, so I couldn't really keep track of the story at all, to be honest. I know stuff like the first one is in a weird house, and then the second level is like in a school, I think, and then the third, was it the hospital? You know, I remember stuff like that, and also the web page that's, I don't know, that's the cursed website and stuff like that, and the ghost girl. But yeah, the story itself, I couldn't pay attention to, because it was just like 3 hours walking around trying to figure out how to progress, and then I get to finally progress, get a 5-second long cutscene about something, and it's back to 3 hours of walking around trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do. So yeah, this is new land for me, because like I said, I couldn't pay attention even if I tried to the story. So it's just new land for me, because now that I think about it, I really don't know anything about the story and aspects of the game and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, not a good game as a game, but atmosphere is top notch. I mean, just look at, you know, just alone from the letter stuff, how much little details they put into, you know, something that's not really useful, but I mean, it adds a pretty cool touch to the, you know, whole atmosphere of the game. It's cool. It's cool. Cool stuff.
As well as some horror media that could have inspired the girl in red's appearance in Calling.
Alright. That means she's kind of like the Grudge. Or was it Sadoko? You know, from The Ring?
Theories on the Calling fandom wiki page concerning the origins of the girl in red. I figured this would be a good place to start to see if there's anything you can support or debunk entirely. One theory suggests that the girl in red is the ghost of a murder victim. The wiki supports this theory with the fact that the ghost drips blood in one of your encounters with her. I do think it's interesting that this ghost actually bleeds, as no other ghost in the game is capable of doing so. However, I don't think blood is enough evidence to say for sure that this ghost was a murder victim, especially since a majority of ghosts haunting the abyss were victims of the Black Page. Another theory on the wiki states that the girl in red
sense, I guess,
a cancer patient in the hospital. This is supported by one of her encounters where she appears and walks into the radiation treatment room. This door cannot be opened, so further investigation is impossible. To explain the issue with this theory, a bit of context is needed. The Mnemonic Abyss is a series of locations made up of memories from the dead. For example, one of the main areas you explore is Kuromiya Hospital. This location was created from the memories of Reiko Asagiri, a girl who passed away here. Ghosts within the Mnemonic Abyss can only appear at locations where they died in the real world, so Reiko can only be encountered at Kuromiya Hospital. The same goes for the nurses and doctors that linger there. Quick editor's note, I am a liar. I'm a big liar. Reiko Asagiri can't traverse the Abyss. She does so in literally the first chapter of the game when she appears at the dollmaker's house. She also appears again later at Shosei High School, so...
Because she's the, she's the main antagonist.
It's obvious to me anyways that the reason she's able to do this is because she created the Mnemonic Abyss and the Black Page Curse. So if I contradict myself again later in the video, no, I didn't. The girl in red does appear at the hospital.
I mean, the small ghost girl is the creator, possible creator of the what is it called? Mnemonic Abyss? Whatever the fuck. I think that was pretty obvious, but I thought the lady in red and the small ghost girl were the same until, you know, just a couple of minutes ago. When I realized they're not the same, because I remember the small ghost girl being clothed in red, but apparently not. I guess I've got some fake memories. No, but who the hell is that lady in red? Alright, okay, so she is a different ghost, because she only appears, as far as I understood, in the hospital, right? And the small ghost girl is probably the creator of the Abyss thing, because she appears everywhere. Hell yeah. Okay, so I guess we're slowly starting to figure it out. This lady in red is probably from, I don't know, the hospital.
But she also appears at Shosei High School.
Never mind.
Story house, and
Never fucking mind.
the girl in red couldn't have been someone who
Alright.
ties to the hospital, otherwise she wouldn't be able to leave. Which leads me to another theory on the wiki page. This one states that the girl in red fell victim to the black page and was killed by another person roaming the mnemonic abyss. Now this is a theory that I think we can work with.
Alright.
So far, no ghost
Sounds
is
kind of
capable
complex.
appearing in multiple locations in the mnemonic abyss. Even living characters are only able to traverse the abyss by dialing specific phone numbers tied to each area. But there are two exceptions to this rule. Characters named Sadao Amano and Michio Kishibe. Starting with Sadao, this ghost first appears at Shosei High School, then appears again in his apartment, which is where he died in the real world. Moving on to Michio, he's unique in the sense that he was not a victim of the Black Page and died due to illness in Kuromiya Hospital. And since he was not a victim of the Black Page, this might be the reason why he's able to appear at the hospital, in the two-story house, and a forest area. So if Michio can move freely through the abyss because he died naturally, what makes Sadao so special? I believe the answer lies in Makoto's fate. After Makoto finds Sadao's apartment, Sadao suddenly appears and kills Makoto. Later, when you take control of Rin at the hospital, you can see Makoto's ghost. Another playable character, Shin Suzutani, also dies during the events of the game. But the difference between Makoto and Shin is the perpetrator behind their murders. Makoto is killed by Sadao, another victim of the Black Page, while Shin is killed by Rin, who was later revealed as the creator of the Mnemonic Abyss and the Black Page curse. It seems that victims of Reiko specifically can't traverse the abyss, as Shin's ghost can only be found in the place where he died. So following this logic, we can assume that the girl in red was someone who fell victim to the Black Page and was killed by one of the ghosts in the area. However, she wasn't killed by Reiko since her spirit can freely roam the abyss. Now when we think about who the girl is exactly, I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. All that stuff seems more like, I don't know, a stretch, sort of. Like, you know, trying to fit two puzzle pieces together that weren't meant to fit together, but kind of still do, you know. There are some kind of off topic, but since I mentioned puzzle pieces, you know, there are actually some pieces that sometimes, you know, you can put them together, but they don't really fit together. So it's like you put them together and move on, and at some point you realize, damn, where the fuck is the one I'm looking for? And you realize, damn, oh no, hold on, they don't fit together. They kind of do, but they kind of don't. And then you realize, oh, okay, that those two were the ones I was looking for. Damn. And I think it's kind of similar with that, because I honestly don't think that they put that much detail or thought into the details, you know. I can't imagine. No. So maybe it's just, you know, everything's just a coincidence, sort of, that it works kind of well together. Yeah. So yeah, I have no clue how he's gonna try and figure out anything else about the red ghost spirit, especially since apparently, you know, she's not even in the part of the main game. Like he explained, apparently you can encounter her only in the second playthrough, which makes her I guess an optional ghost. So there's probably not much information on that. Either way, nothing really to find, but that's really cool. That's really interesting. I did not know that an entire new ghost you can encounter and get messages from and stuff like that in the second playthrough. I did not know that. If I did know, I would have played, you know, a second played through it a second time, but. Yeah, I didn't know. Let me think. Did I even finish the game? Because I made my mom play it back then, because I was a giant pussy. I was too scared. I was a scared ass kid, and I think we never finished it, because I don't remember the forest area, but I saw the ending. I'm pretty sure I saw the ending, but I really don't remember the forest area. That's weird. That's strange indeed. All right, who cares? Let's move on.
Calling takes inspirations from multiple pieces of horror media, and it was through these inspirations that I was hoping to find some answers regarding exactly who the girl in red is, or what she may have been inspired by.
My guess is she's, you know...
Girl in red, my mind immediately goes to Fear. Alma Wade, or the primary antagonist of Fear, is a psychic ghost.
I was more leaning towards what's the Hanako, the toilet ghost? In a Japanese folklore. I guess it's my guess is more inspired by those types of things, because I don't know, she seems to be a very specific type of ghost with the red and the long hair and the obsessive nature and stuff like that. I mean, she's not like the other ghosts. So, yeah. While, you know, the little girl ghost reminds me more of the ghost from The Ring. Stuff like that. Stuff, ghosts like that. Typical Japanese horror ghost type. You know, woman. Black hair. Black long hair. Over the face. Ugly ass face. Being creepy ass shit. While the red and stuff like that, it could, maybe I don't know, we'll find it in a second, I guess, but I think the girl in red, oh, hold on, she's not, no, hold on, yeah, she shows up in a part in a toilet, right? That's where she's bleeding into the toilet. We saw that, right? I'm not making things up, am I? But yeah, I think she could be inspired by that urban myth, ghost, legend, Japanese spooky. Ooh, I guess that's my guess. I can't imagine they were inspired by Fear, because didn't they come out in a it's a similar time frame? I don't know. Let's continue. I'm not gonna figure it out myself, apparently. So let's move on. Yeah, hell yeah, suck a dick on the daily. Yeah!
Ghost girl that wears a red dress. But after refreshing my mind with a walkthrough and the Fear wiki page, I'm not sure if there's any connection here. They're both ghost girls that wear red, and that's about
that's it.
Similarities. When looking for Japanese horror movies featuring ghost girls in red, I came across two films.
Alma.
Both films were released in 2000.
I know I keep pausing, but I don't care. Alma is kind of, I don't know, she's a very different type of ghost girl, also from the story perspective and stuff like that. She's very unlike the very obvious Japanese inspirations of The Calling, because I mean it's a Japanese horror game, so yeah, it makes sense. But Fear is more Western inspired ghost thing, you know, like there's a definite difference how Japanese urban legend ghosts actually are portrayed as, and the Western interpretation of Japanese urban legend ghosts stuff. There's a definite difference there. So, and I think since also The Calling is a Japanese game, I think you can definitely tell that the inspirations for the ghosts in the game are original Japanese, not the Western interpretation of Japanese horror folklore. Folklore. Yeah.
3 years before Calling, so it's possible that these movies could have had some influence on the game. Starting with Retribution, the film focuses on Yoshioka, a detective investigating a series of murders. The movie actually begins with the detective murdering a woman in a red dress. Eventually, the ghost of this woman begins haunting the detective. During their first encounter together, the ghost even expresses joy in being able to be reunited with him. This ghost continues haunting Yoshioka and even begins haunting other people. Eventually,
but she's more like a revenge ghost, isn't she?
Saw in an asylum 15 years ago. The ghost was infuriated that no one came to save her from the asylum and began haunting people once she died. The film ends with the ghost forgiving Yoshioka for not helping her, and she kills the detective's partner by shoving him into a bowl. Yeah.
What?
Moving on to Women, this movie.
That's what I mean. That's
separate horror story.
The original Japanese horror vision.
A ghost girl in red. The story focuses on Kanako after a night out with her boyfriend Akira. At Kanako's apartment, she gets a call from Akira saying that his ex-wife tried to attack him with a knife. Kanako soon discovers a woman in a red dress in her apartment. The woman in red brandishes a knife and chases after Kanako. After this chase and some investigation from Kanako,
now that seems more like it.
Time to attack. Before pushing Kanako,
a jealous ghost.
The ghost admits that they are a monster, and I don't think there's any connection here. Out of the two films, Ghost Girl is inspired by Retribution's Ghost Girl. It's not the one perfect match.
No.
They both.
No. In Japanese folklore, there are very different types of ghosts. And I'm pretty sure revenge ghosts aren't. No. It seems more like the other one. The other one seems to fit a lot better. Because, also in Japanese folklore, ghosts aren't really ghosts sometimes, which is weird. They're the kind of monster ghosts, but also ghosts. It's very different. And the other one seems to fit a lot better in my opinion, because the whole theme of jealousy seems to kind of be the case in the Lady in Red in Calling, from at least the possible indications through the letters and stuff like that. So yeah. And usually the themes like that, you know, like a revenge ghost being a different type of ghost than a jealous ghost and stuff like that, in Japanese horror media and folklore and urban legends and stuff like that, play an important part, while in Western media it's just, you know, a ghost is just a ghost. They're all the same, and sometimes they hate you because they want revenge, and sometimes they don't. But in Japanese ghost lore, I guess, it's different. Like, for example, the best example is Ju-on the Grudge. The fact that the ghost cannot leave the place. And then you see the Grudge 3 and they leave the place. I wonder why. Maybe because the American studios took over and made a remake and then made a sequel and then made a third one? Yeah, but no. In the original, they cannot leave the place where the curse is infesting the place that died or something like that. Japanese ghosts have very strict rules, which is exactly what I mean with, you know, the difference between the Western interpretation of Japanese ghost lore and the actual original Japanese ghost lore. There's a definite difference. It's not just spooky woman with long black hair. Woo! No, they have very specific, very convoluted rules in some cases. So yeah, and since, you know, Calling is a Japanese horror game, I lean more towards the other one, not Retribution being the inspiration, but the other one seems more in line, at least thematically speaking, in my opinion. So yeah, I disagree, Ghost Search. Do your research, bro! Do your research! Is what I'm saying. Even though I'm not doing any research at all, I'm just speculating. I'm speculating with information I got through Ghost Search. So who the fuck are you, Aceox, to talk on our Lord and Savior Ghost Search? Fuck you, Aceox. You're a demon. Get it? Cause I have demon horns now? I won't keep them, by the way. I just wanted to spice up a little bit, you know, the character model, so you don't have to look at my ugly ass face being the same every single time. I'm also gonna, you know, change up the background every now and then, and maybe even switch scenes entirely for a couple of videos and then just go back and stuff like that. But yeah, today it's devil horns. Small detail, but look how different I look. Now I look cool instead of goofy with the Martian antenna. Yeah, now I'm cool. I'm Satan. Yes, I am the real basis from which the Satan lore started. Yeah. He wasn't a humanoid monster dude with horns that tortures people for fun. No, he was a pufferfish with butterfly wings and a stupid ass 2 small horns. That's what his original was. But then you said, like, you know, you fucking humans were like, nah, that's not spooky. Let's make him human. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. I should just continue. And I'm gonna continue. Let's continue. Continue? Question mark? 3, 2, 1. Game over. Get it? Tekken 4 did that? Cool shit. Alright, shut up, Aceox.
Have a strong connection to a main character, haunt multiple characters, don't attack anyone until the very end, and never have their name revealed. As far as Ghost Girls in Red go, I think that it's fair to say that Retribution's Ghost Girl is the likely match here. Don't get me wrong though,
nah, I don't think so.
Horror movies that could have influenced Calling's Ghost Girl. In fact, when I think of the girl in red, she reminds me a lot of Kayako from Ju-on the Grudge. I
also think, you know, just
red because
she's more inspired by Japanese folklore in general, not just movies and stuff.
But luckily, films aren't the only things that influenced Calling's scares and ghosts. My search also led me to Japanese urban legends, hoping that the red might be some sort of rumor or legend that I'd just never heard of. Maybe like
there are some similar ones.
Something similar. When looking for a woman in red, I found the legend of Hanako-san.
I told you! Bitch! I'm good!
To legend, you can summon Hanako-san by knocking
and she wears red
on the 3rd floor's women's bathroom. After asking if Hanako-san is there, she will respond, "Yes, I am." What happens after this is up to whoever is telling the story. Some say that a ghost hand appears, while others say that the stall door just swings open. And some say that Hanako-san opens the door and drags you to hell through the toilet. I think the connections here is that both Calling's ghost and Hanako-san wear red and haunt schools.
Yeah.
But that's about it. The girl in red does appear in a bathroom, but that's his apartment. Not sure if that
okay.
anything. However, I did find
maybe not.
an urban legend that could have influenced Calling's ghost. This legend is referred to as Kuchisake Onna, or slit.
Yeah, no, slit mouth woman, but she. No, that's not. No, definitely not. I disagree with that because the slit mouth woman is that's the whole point, you know, the with the slit mouth. Because if she, I don't know exactly what the details were, but she appears and she asks you if you think she's pretty and stuff like that. And as far as I know, you cannot win. You cannot win no matter what you answer. It's just bad outcome. Either she slits your goddamn mouth open, or she kills you, I think. So yeah, and now that she's a very specific type of ghost entity in Japanese folklore. I'm pretty sure she's not the inspiration. I can't imagine, at least, because the slit mouth part is really important. And yeah, and she's not really stalking like the ghost in Calling. She's more, you know, shows up and then fucks you over. So no, I can't see the connection there. No.
Wearing a mask will approach people at night and ask, "Am I beautiful?" Answering yes will result in the woman removing her mask and revealing a grotesque cut from ear to ear.
Yeah.
She will then ask, "How about now?" If you answer yes to this question, she will cut your mouth so it'll be just like hers. If you say no to her questions, she'll kill you on the spot. Initially, this sounds nothing like Calling's ghost. However, the connection becomes a bit more obvious when you get a good look at the girl in red. It's difficult to see the ghost's face due to her long black hair, but there is one moment where you can see her face clearly. When you encounter the girl in red at Kuromiya Hospital while playing as Rin, the ghost hangs upside down, revealing her face. Right there. On the corners of her mouth, you can see upwards towards the ghost's ears and downwards to the bottom of her chin. The girl in red even hangs her mouth open in this encounter, similar to the slit-mouthed woman. This connection isn't a perfect one-to-one either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Always depicted as wearing red. She usually carries a weapon, and she usually wears...
Honestly, I think those are hairs. Because there's this picture, I think she's the secret jump scare ghost I encountered myself and had a really difficult time finding a frame from. And the hair goes into the mouth. And I think she is the ghost, the Easter egg ghost. Alright, AceoX, once again, edit to AceoX, put in the Easter egg ghost in here for reference. And as you can see in the picture, the hairs go inside the mouth and stuff like that. And I think that's her. I think that's her. So yeah, no, it's not scars. No, the scars of the slit-mouthed woman are purposely designed very obvious way because that's a defining feature. So if there was her inspiration, they would have actually made it very obvious, in my opinion. So yeah, no, I still disagree. The slit-mouthed woman, it doesn't really, no, it doesn't fit. I think it's more either Hanako or an amalgamation of multiple ghost interpretations and stuff like that.
The main connection here is the Cheshire Cat-like scars on their face, but I'll take what I can. After looking through everything, I think it's safe to say that the girl in red is ultimately a tribute to Japanese horror and urban legends in general.
Yeah, I think in general, yeah.
Very much resembles Kayako and Sadako from Ju-on Grudge and Ringo respectively, while the way you encounter
the red is from Hanako and
urban legend. Can you imagine if your friend came up to you one day and they were like, "Oh, there's this ghost in this Wii game, and if you find them, they send you creepy letters, and they're like obsessed with you, and they like stalk you, and it sounds fake. It sounds like somebody made it up." And despite sounding like a big urban legend, it's all here. You can interact with the spirit, you can get these...
Yeah, it's really cool.
Super cool. Although we're not really any closer to cracking the case on the girl in red.
That's what I meant, you know, the amount of details they put into this game, for some reason, is awesome. I like it. They went above and beyond for no reason. For no reason. And that's why I think it has one of the best atmospheres in horror games, period. Because they just put so much work into it and unfortunately didn't put a lot of work into the gameplay. I mean, you can't win them all, apparently. Unfortunately. No, but the atmosphere is just so good because they care about the details, man. They put a lot of thought into it. Into stuff that normally you wouldn't put a lot of thought into it because it's more like a, you know, polishing the details and shit. Who the fuck honked? Who the fuck honked at me? Honk honk! I am the one who honks. Skylar, I am the one who honks. No one else. No one else.
Its identity, I do have a newfound appreciation for this spirit. Taking advantage of the features on a system's hardware to
it's so cool.
Players is so cool. When I try to think of,
they really didn't have to go that hard, but they did, and I appreciate that.
If Calling ever gets ported to future consoles, the encounters with the girl in red simply won't hit as hard. Without the message board letters, it'll just be written off as another creepy spirit you can find in the game. I would love to see more games take advantage of their hardware to add another layer of creep. I know there's a fair share of indie games out there that do this though. Props to those guys. I mean,
like Doku Doku Literature Club and stuff like that.
This is where the investigation ends. If you have any theories of your own or any gripes with any of mine, feel free to let me know. Anyways, that's all I had for you guys.
I think she's a tribute to Japanese urban legends in general. Maybe it was inspired by Fear and that one movie and Hanako and stuff like that. You know, just multiple things put into one ghost as a tribute, because she doesn't really seem to be important in the grand scheme of the game, since she only appears apparently in the second playthrough and is optional kind of, right? So I guess it's just, you know, like a bonus, like, this is why we love Japanese horror lore. Yeah. But yeah, let's see if in a couple seconds he still says something. Hold on. No? Alright. Alright, Ghost Search. Another good video. I liked it. We didn't come to the same conclusion, unfortunately, but you can't win them all. You can't win them all. Obviously, I am right and you are wrong. No. Obviously, interpretations are subjective. You can interpret them however you want. That's the whole point. That's what an interpretation is. It's very subjective to each person. But yeah, I think it's just a general love letter, you know, and that's why, you know, she's a bonus ghost, because it's a love letter for Japanese horror media in general, I think, or Japanese inspired horror media, because there's also the Fear. I think that Fear definitely played a role in inspiring the ghost design, maybe. And yeah, it's an American game, but still, if I'm correct, American. Somewhere over there, right? But yeah, it's an American-ish game that's inspired by Japanese-ish folklore, and that goes maybe inspired by it, so it's like 3-3rd-degree third-degree burns on my dick, on my balls. But yeah, like I said, really good video. This was the Wii's Horrifying Stalker by Ghost Search. Definitely go check out Ghost Search. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers yet, and I hope he gets a lot, because I think he makes really good videos and he really deserves more attention. So yeah, definitely show some love to Ghost Search here. And let me think. I think that's it. Do I have something else to say? No, I think that's it. Alright, so before I end this video, like always, go into the video description, click the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video by Ghost Search. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him, I see you, motherfucker. Why the shit are you sniffing that blood in the toilet from the ghost? Like, that's my thing. Hello, that's my thing. Don't fucking steal my style, man. Tell him that. And obviously subscribe to him. Like I said, he makes really good videos. He deserves it. Show him some love. Support the man. If not, then I'm gonna rip off your dick. The horns make me a lot more violent than usual. Maybe I should switch back to the Martian antenna. Or maybe not. Nah. But tell him all that stuff I said, and Yeah, and in my comment section down below, tell me what you want me to react to next. Maybe another video by Ghost Search, maybe by someone else, about something else, for something else, being something else, being really ooh and shit like that. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. But try to be specific, you know, tell me a video title or something like that, because if it's about a topic I'm unfamiliar with, I don't know what to look out for, right? I don't know what's good and what isn't. How should I know, right? I'm not omniscient, an omniscient being. I may be omnipotent, but not omniscient. Yeah, or I can pick out something myself, like I've been doing mostly on this channel. And so far, I have a perfect track record, I think. Yeah. I just pick random stuff, you know, that sounds or looks interesting and just hope for the best. And so far, like I said, it worked. I'm mostly sticking to the main ones I liked so far. So yeah, it's not really like I'm watching a new channel in every video. You know, videos from a new channel I'm unfamiliar with in every reaction. So yeah, maybe I'm giving myself a little too much credit than I deserve. But I think I have a good track record regardless. Or I can do both. Yeah. Just let me know which one you like. Maybe the both one. And I'm happy to oblige either way. Hell yeah. This has been the Small Penis Man. Small Penis Man out. Now that I think about it, why is horror media so obsessed with women and children? You know, we got spooky ghost children, spooky ghost girls, but why not buff, hairy ghost men? Think about that. Aren't men scary? I thought they're scary. I thought they're intimidating. Every time I walk up to someone and be like, "Hi, my name is A6," they scream and run away. I don't know why. Sometimes they switch the goddamn side of the walkway they're walking and shit like that. So if we're that scary, we men, then why no spooky ghost man with tiny dicks? Why? Tell me why. I wanna know. You wanna know why? Because I wanna see two ghosts fuck. Yeah. Imagine a creepy ghost woman fucking a creepy ghost man. A burly, hairy, muscly, caveman-like ghost man. And they both fuck. Imagine that. That sounds like heaven to me. Haha. Bye.